Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into your WWE Smackdown live review. This is for the show from Tuesday, September 20th, 2016. I just finished watching the show. It ended, about an hour ago? So getting to this one fairly quickly. And so the questions coming into the show, questions and concerns. How was the main event scene going to be booked? What were they going to do with the tag team titles? Was Randy Orton going to be cleared to wrestle? I remember hearing rumors that he wasn't cleared. That's why him and Bray didn't really wrestle, and Bray's still hurt. He's got an ankle injury. Were they going to announce any more matches for No Mercy, which is in... when is No Mercy? We still got probably, 3 weeks? Let me see real quick. WWE No Mercy. Google this real quick. And October 9th. And it's the 20th. So we still got... whoa. We still got almost 20 days. 20 days. So... yeah, it's still a while away, so more so, how was that damn main event scene? Are they gonna book Cena to just demolish AJ and Dean and not even care about, trying to make the show better? Are they gonna keep holding talent down? What were they gonna do? So let's get into this. And Daniel Bryan starts off the show by introducing Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Championship contract signing, and he tries to say that it's gonna be civil and whatever. Dumb. But Alexa says that she comes out. Becky comes out, Alexa comes out, and Alexa was talking about how Becky doesn't deserve the title, and that her role in life is basically to be the lovable underdog that tries so hard and she may, find a bone every once in a while, but is just destined to be a loser. You weren't born to be a champion, Becky. And Becky responds by saying, I wasn't born to be a champion. I was born to live in a small house in Dublin and work a job I didn't like and barely make ends meet. But I watched a lot of movies and I listened when they said to believe in yourself. And I believed in myself and I worked to be a champion. I poured my heart and soul into this to hold this above my head. And she holds the title. And she says, I want this a whole lot more than you do. And I'll rip your head off if you think you're going to take this from me. And Alexa was like, oh, it was such an inspirational speech. Please, I'm going to take that title from you and expose you for what you are. And that's a one-hit wonder. And then Alexa goes to sign the contract. And then she ends up slapping Becky with the contract. Clearly missed... Becky had to put her hands up a mile away. And then Alexa signs it and then flips the table over onto Becky. And then she goes to leave. Well, then Becky charges her. They get into a little scruff and then Alexa bails. She heads to the back and then Becky runs back into the ring, signs the contract, and then holds up her title. And it's supposedly official. So, alright, open segment. Getting a little more babyface sympathy for why you should cheer for Becky. Trying to relate her more to the audience with that whole underdog. Started from the bottom, working her way to be a champion. Good stuff, good storytelling. Alexa didn't really deliver her lines as I would like her to have. She seemed a little quiet, a little timid. It's the first time she's really cut a promo on SmackDown. Thinking about it, I would have liked her to add a little more intensity to it. Sort of believe what she was saying a little bit more. Seemed like she was sort of reading off the script with that one. Backstage though, Miz and Daniel Bryan getting into a little confrontation. Miz was talking about how they have a problem, and I guess they redid his contract, supposedly. Kayfabe redid his contract. And then how Miz talked about wanting to get out of his title match tonight, and Daniel Bryan was like, "Oh, you don't if you don't want to defend your title, you don't have to." But then he didn't say terminate, but you'll just basically be a breach out of your contract or something along those lines, or your contract will be canceled. And then Miz basically walks away, and he faces Dolph Ziggler later tonight for the IC title. We get into our first match, though, the Usos versus American Alpha. I was interested in this. This was a number one contendership match. Winner goes on to face Heath Slater and Rhino for the tag titles at No Mercy. So throughout the match, I like Gable's leg capture suplex to Jimmy. Gable and Jordan stereo drop kicks to Jimmy. Jimmy hanging up Gable on the middle rope, and then no. Well, I think it was Jay that hung him up on the middle rope, and then Jimmy drop kicked the knee of Chad Gable, sending him out of the ring as he was tied up on the middle rope. We get a commercial. We come back. They work over some classic wrestles. Tease the hot tag. Gable gets the hot tag to Jordan. Jordan's overhead belly to belly to Jimmy, and then his overhead belly to belly to Jay. Jordan's corner spears to the Usos. They were on opposite ends of the ring. Jordan goes for a top rope overhead belly to belly. Jay pushes Jordan off, and then Jay hits a super kick. No. Jimmy hits the super kick. Jay hits the top rope cross body, or the top rope frog splash, and then Gable saves the pin. So then after that, Jordan hit a leg capture suplex to Jay. Jimmy hit a super kick to Jordan. And then Jordan bounces off the ropes, fires back with the clothesline. I liked how he sold that. Jordan does a sunset flip to Jimmy. Good stuff. But then Jay, out of nowhere, targets the knee of Gable, as Gable was like on the apron, wanted to tag in Jordan. Jordan was telling him, "No, man, I got this." Because, Gable's selling was awesome. His selling of the knee was phenomenal. And then the Usos do a double super kick to Jordan, and Jay hits the top rope cross body for the pin and the win. So the Usos win. The whole sequence ending of that match, where Jordan was going to tag Gable. Gable's leg gave out, and then Jordan ends up taking the pin, and he takes the fall. The Usos with the double team and everything. I thought that was great. I really like this. God, it seemed like at first the American Alpha wasn't really connecting, but I feel like with this whole storyline, I mean, the crowd was getting into it near the end of that. Even from the start they were into it, but at the end they were really getting into this. So I hope the WWE kind of found something here with American Alpha, and relating that whole sympathy. Getting them the sympathy, trying to relate them a little more to the audience so they can connect and stuff. I mean, the American Alpha, man, they're so fucking good. They're so good. Gable's selling was awesome. He crushed it. And the Usos did a really good job too. They're embracing the heel persona really well. And then after the match backstage, Rhino and Heath were talking about facing the Usos, and Heath was like, "Man, I'm gonna do this thing where I get the crowd behind us, We're gonna do this thing where I say Rye, you say no, and then I'll say Rye, and then the crowd will say no." And Rhino was like, "No, we're not doing that." But then they basically killed time so the Usos could run to the back and confront Heath Slater and Rhino about the tag titles, and it basically ends with Rhino staring down the Usos and the Usos back off. So a little weak there for the Usos after that match or whatever. And they make the case that, they should have won at Backlash. They had to wrestle 2 matches. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I could see them putting the titles on the Usos and then having American Alpha fight to get the titles, going on that chase. I think that would be good. I would really like that, to be honest. I would really love that. But up next, we get match 2, Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin. Jack Swagger was on commentary, didn't really care for anything he had to say, didn't really offer any real insight. Crews with a single leg shotgun dropkick to start the match, good stuff. Crews lifting up Crews like the world's strongest slam position, and then throwing him up into the Samoan drop I liked. Cruz sending Corbin into the barricade when they were on the outside. Corbin took a good bump. Cruz ensegiri to Corbin on the outside. Throws him back into the ring. We get a kick out at 2. Corbin's drop kick sending Cruz out of the ring. Corbin's forearms to the side of Cruz's head as he was pinning his head against the barricade was awesome. Really cool spot. And then Corbin stomping on Cruz while he was positioned across the ring post. So like in the ring, Cruz was like mid or like ribs and chest first, like over like, you know, the ring post at the very bottom, the corner of the ring. And then Corbin was stomping him out. And then, you know how Jeff Hardy does like the, where he holds onto the ropes and then he'll like sort of jump up and then do the double leg drop sort of thing where his opponent's in the corner. Well, Corbin did that to Cruz while he was positioned across the ring post. It looked like he got some authority into it. They bleeped out whatever Apollo Crews had to say. And then after that, Corbin hit the end of days for the pin and the win. So Corbin getting it done. And then afterwards, Swagger and Corbin stare down. So it looks like they're going to transition to a feud between Corbin and Swagger. Probably to get Corbin over. I feel like they're building him up. I don't know for who, though. That's the main thing. I don't know who they're going to build him up for. Backstage, Naomi and Nikki talk about Carmella and Natalya. No real insight there. And then Dolph Ziggler backstage talks about The Miz in, you know, a different part of the building with Renee Young this time. And about how this is his last shot. This is his last chance, you know. He psychs himself up a little bit. Good stuff. And then we get the Intercontinental title match, Miz versus Ziggler. And going into this, my thoughts were, well, Ziggler, like, I could see them giving him the title on a SmackDown. And it's like one of the first times the title's been defended on SmackDown. So I could see them doing that to get the shock factor and everything. But then I was thinking, so they've been building Miz as this like 200-something day title reign or whatever it is. Why would they have him just drop the title randomly on SmackDown to Ziggler? Where's the payoff in that? Where's the satisfaction in Ziggler winning, you know, just on a real short notice match? So, and then I thought, well, if I was booking this, I somehow prolong this to No Mercy and have Ziggler win then and there. Have him win the title at No Mercy. So, and Maurice was ringside, so I figured they'd have her get involved some way, some shape or form. So let's get into it. Ziggler's mat wrestling to start off, Miz bailing, and then they go for that fucking bullshit CM Punk type of finish again, like they did at the pay-per-view. I didn't catch that. It didn't even ring across my brain that that's what they were going for until it was pointed out by like 1,000 fucking people. And I was like, how petty, man. Like, fucking A, man. I don't get it. I don't get the WWE's petty bullshit at all. So, yeah, they tried to do that again. I was just like, fuck off, man. Who told you to go out there and do that? Like, why would you do that? You know, this man tried to do real sports, real fighting, you know. I don't get it. Ziggler's clothesline to Miz on the outside was good. Miz's dropkick sending Ziggler to the outside. Miz doing the Daniel Bryan yes kicks. Miz sending Ziggler shoulder first into the ring post. Ziggler does his stinger splash eventually. But then Miz sends Ziggler back into the back into the ring post shoulder first again. Miz goes for the Daniel Bryan corner drop kicks, follows it up with his awesome clothesline into the corner. Miz off the top rope, goes for his double axe handle. I think Ziggler catches him in midair with the drop kick. 2 count. Famouser by Ziggler was countered into the powerbomb position. And then Miz drops Ziggler onto the top rope, like throws him over his head, and Ziggler, you know, neck off the top rope sort of spot. After that, Ziggler hits his delayed DDT. 2 count. Ziggler's clothesline, he clotheslines Miz over the top rope, sending both of them over the top rope. We get a commercial. Miz's sunset flip, I thought he was about to Seth Rollins himself with the way he landed. He moves out of the corner with Ziggler in the powerbomb position, springboards Ziggler's back like off the top rope, and then hits a sit-out powerbomb. Dolph with the Famouser for a 2 count after that. And then Maurice gets involved, and she goes to use a hairspray, but the ref catches her and then throws her out, you know, from ringside. So In the ring, Ziggler rolls up Miz for a close 2 count. Miz then rolls up Ziggler for a close 2 count and grabs the tights, and that's where I thought the finish was going to be. But then Miz bails, grabs his title, goes to leave, but then Dolph throws Miz into the ring steps, and Miz is holding on to the title the whole time. Ziggler was like, beating his ass on the outside, so I was like, he's gonna hit him with the title and get DQ'd or something. But then Ziggler throws Miz into the ring with the title still, and Miz throws the title across the ring, so the ref's going to put the title out of the ring. He got his back turned, and then Miz hairsprays Ziggler in the face, and then hits the skull-crushing finale for the pin and the win. So Miz getting the W, cheating again. So that's why I now, confirmed, I think, that they're going to do a rematch at No Mercy with some sort of stipulation, I think, where I would put a steel cage on it, personally. And pin or submission only. None of that bullshit escape the cage. I hate that. I would book this to end in a steel cage match or something. I think that would be a really cool way to end it. Limiting the outside interference, banning Maurice or whatever. Like no one can interfere or get involved. No props or anything. Like I feel like that would be a fitting way to end this rivalry. We'll see. I think this can only go up until No Mercy, though. Like I feel like Ziggler, I don't know where they go from here if they don't have him win. That's the thing. His character right now, it's like this is his last shot. This is his last chance. So he's got to win. And I think that's the payoff with him winning. And then where do they go from there? I don't know. We'll see. After this, Randy Orton versus Eric Rowan. Orton teases the RKO early on, but then Eric Rowan takes control, hits some elbow drops, does a mediocre drop kick, John Cena-esque, pretty bad. Rowan then slams Orton to the ring steps. They go out and brawl for a little bit. Rowan throws Orton in the ring, goes to get in. Orton catches him, hits the Hangman's DDT. And then the RKO for the pin and the win. Orton gets the W. Then the Wyatt's thing goes off. Eric Rowan just fucking disappears and leaves the sheet mask in the ring. And then brays on the Titantron and says, "The Viper strikes again. They love you, Randy. You and I, we have bonded by the most unholy matrimony. Till death do us apart. You're still just a man that can die at any given time. But I am a god, Randy. And a god can never die. Run." No real substance here. Probably going to get Bray and Randy at No Mercy, I would assume, if Bray's healthy. We'll see. Orton still didn't even do a whole lot in this match. So I don't know if, I haven't heard anything if he's really medically cleared, because they sent him out there and he really didn't do a whole lot. I'm going to be honest. Maybe he is ready. I don't know. It's been over a month now. It's been about a month. So we'll see. After this, we get Nikki Bella and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. And Natalya knocks off Naomi at the beginning of the match, locks in the sharpshooter on Nikki. Carmella pulls Nikki out of the ring and then sends her into the barricade, and the ref rings the bell. I guess that causes a DQ nowadays. And on the outside, Carmella's beating on Nikki Bella. Naomi hits a roundhouse on Natalya in the ring, and then goes to check on Nikki, and Carmella leaves. I don't know. They're just trying to keep these four relevant in their one-on-one feuds with each other, but not really doing a whole lot, not really adding any character development. It's just something for them to do. It's just mid-card stay busy work. It's nothing really, no substance here. Backstage, AJ talks about Dean Ambrose and John Cena, and he was like, a rivalry. Hold on, let me pull up the definition of rivalry, because he said it and I didn't take notes at the beginning. I know where he was going for this. Competition for the same objective or for the superiority in the same field. And AJ said, I don't have a rivalry with either of those guys. I beat both of them. I am the face that runs the place. I am the champ that runs the camp. I am superior in every way. So why does the Phenomenal One get in a triple threat match at No Mercy? He said, the only way this title gets taken from me as if I don't get beaten. And that's pretty crappy, right? And AJ says, he's going to sit back while Dean and Cena beat the crap out of each other, and the champ is and always will be here. Okay promo from AJ. I like the start of it, the whole rivalry thing. It was pretty cool. Cool little way to tie into this. I don't know if he's onto something, if, he said pretty crappy, right? If the only way he can get the title off of him is if he doesn't get beaten. Makes me wonder, makes me think, maybe I'm reading into that too much. But just his little delivery in that makes me think, are they actually going to have Cena beat Dean? So AJ doesn't get pinned and then Cena becomes a 16-time champ. That would fucking be the worst decision they could ever fucking make. And I don't put it past them to make that fucking shitty decision. So, main event time, Dean Ambrose, John Cena. Expectation levels really fucking low. Don't get me wrong, Dean is an okay worker. Cena's garbage, so it was going to take a miracle for Dean to work John Cena to a freaking great match. It wasn't going to happen. Alright, so let's run through this. Cena took Dean's headlock takeover like absolute fucking shit, landed on his ass. How do you fuck that up? He found a way to fuck it up. Cena trying to cover up in the corner when Dean wasn't even near him looked like fucking shit. I've never seen a fighter or a simulated fighter ever attempt to cover up like that. It looked like crap. It just looked like utter shit. They tease their finishers. Cena does his headlock takeover and it looked like crap. He never properly locked Dean's head. He just glazed the top of his arm over his head and then just went through the motions. He didn't even put any effort into it. Cena ran right into the ring post. Dean sidestepped and we get a commercial. Cena locks in the STF. I hate that move. Rope break. Dean sends Cena to the floor and then I was like, oh no. I was like, dude, what? Don't do the suicide dive. Cena pop up on the apron, hit a forearm. Dean I was like, I would never throw my body and expect this guy to properly catch me. I would never do it. I would say, no, we're not doing that spot. Think of something different. And Dean does the suicide dive and Cena didn't even catch him. The back of his head, he over-rotated and the back of his head smacked off the barricade. Hey, you're telling me that this dude couldn't catch him off of a suicide dive? All you do is guide him so he doesn't die. Are you fucking kidding me? How do you fuck that up? Unfucking believable, man. This dude sucks. Dean does his top rope crossbody and Cena rolls over and lifts him up and hits the yay, and I was like, this is where Dean loses. No, 2 count. Of course, we get the false finisher teases. Finishers don't mean fucking anything in Cena matches. Dean hits he goes for the yay again. Dean counters into the dirty deeds, 2 count. Cena's punches at this point look like crap. Dean goes for the rebound clothesline. It was reversed into the AA, and then Dean reversed that into a sunset flip roll-up for the pin and the win. The announcers didn't make any excuses. Cena did his, WrestleMania 28 Rock, laying on the apron, or laying on the ramp selling shock. I was like, they went to the same fucking shot. You couldn't have done something different. Fucking Jesus Christ. But yeah, Dean won. I would have loved to seen him hit his finisher. It would have been more impactful. It would have been more definitive. It's the roll-up, it leaves room for an excuse. Well, he got caught with the roll-up. So, whatever. I was shocked Dean won. I'm going to be straight honest. I didn't think he was going to have a chance in hell at winning. And then after, AJ Styles hits the forearm off the barricade to John Cena, and then Pele kicks Dean Ambrose in the ring. And then Daniel Bryan comes out and was like, hey, that was phenomenal. Sarcastically says that, of course. But last week, Shane promised Dean a one-on-one championship rematch. And that match is going to happen next week on SmackDown Live. And AJ was... And I thought they were going to do it right now. We're on the network or something stupid. And I was waiting for him to say now. And then Dean rolls up AJ. And then I was going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? And then AJ was like, no, and I'll beat him right now. And I was like, no, what the fuck, what? And Dean, he turns around and catches the dirty deeds. And then Dean just posed in the ring and nothing happened. And I was like, oh, thank God. This is, oh my dude, like the panic level with this AJ title reign has been through the roof for the last 2 fucking weeks. We're 2 weeks in and I'm getting fucking worried. Like, this should not be happening. Like, I should not have to feel this way about, like, the best wrestler in the world. Oh my God, man. So, we escape another week. At least Cena wasn't standing over AJ. I'm glad with that. Not as crazy about Dean, but I don't have that much, I don't have a bone to pick with Dean at this point. It's anybody but Cena. It's AJ. Fuck the world. Dean's not a factor right now. I could care less about Dean. But yeah, man, I just get a gut feeling we're going to see some sketchy fucking bullshit at No Mercy. I get that feeling. We're going to see some sketchy shit at No Mercy. So, overall show rating, not a bad show. 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10, somewhere around that range. It was an alright show. It was okay. Better than last week, man. Way fucking better than last week. 6.5 out of 10. We'll stick with that. I thought that tag match was great. I thought that tag match was awesome. The IC title match was pretty good too. I'm not even fronting. Even the main event wasn't awful. More so of how it ended, I guess. I don't know. Cena sucks. Fuck him. I hate watching him in the ring. He just does not do it for me. If you guys like him, more power to you, Everyone's got different tastes. I just don't like him in the ring at all. Doesn't do it for me. Would have loved to have seen AJ and Dean in the main event. And we're going to see that next week. So hopefully Cena stays off the fucking show. Doesn't cut a promo. That would fucking piss me off. And hopefully, AJ and Dean next week. That's the thing. On this SmackDown, they gave you a cliffhanger sort of to tune in next week. They don't really do that a lot. They kind of just expect you to tune in next week. And they have that sort of built-in, like, 2.5, 3 million audience, that will. But at least on Raw, I don't know about SmackDown. We're going to have to start doing viewership and ratings and get back to that. We did that for a little bit here. Got off track a little. I'm going to try and give you guys, the real shit, None of that, let's try and spin it, ratings bullshit. We're not going to get into that right now, but yeah, they actually gave you sort of a cliffhanger why you should watch next week. They don't really do that a lot. They kind of just expect it. And, I appreciate, them doing the cliffhanger. Next week, world title match, on SmackDown. Whoa, that's a bit rare. Is that going to change anything? Who goes into No Mercy or whatever? So we'll find out. So I'm going to get going, guys. Still got some NFL videos to watch. Going to try and get those up tomorrow. I'm going to try and have them all done tomorrow. That's the goal, man. I got a number of games to still go through and watch. I still got to record some stuff that I've already watched. So we're going to try and finish that up tomorrow. I'm going to have all those up and then get into, finally get caught up on TNA. I owe you guys some TNA stuff. And guys are going to have a Clash of Champions preview, a Clash of Champions review, all that stuff to look forward to this week. I'm going to try and do a viewership breakdown, at some point if I have the time for it. I should, if everything goes as planned, if I can knock out this stuff tomorrow, the games, and then knock out TNA on Thursday. Looking at what, like late Thursday, early Friday, trying to have a viewership video, something around that time. That's what I'm thinking. We'll see. So I'm going to get going. Talk to you guys on the next video. Until then, you guys have a good one.